friends, welcome to video number 3. I've heard that you have been doing lots of awesome work with Miss Harrington, but I'm here to show you how we are going to work on day 11 of our writing process. So today we're going to work on steps 8 and steps 9 again because we're going to be publishing and sharing those stories very soon, and it's important to continue to reread and revise our work to make sure it is the best it can be. Right? So before we are ready to publish our story with others, we want to read our story again to make sure that we have used the correct punctuation and grammar. We also want to think about the importance of using prepositions in our stories with different kinds of sentences. What are prepositions? Do you remember what those are? Remember, a preposition is a word that tells when or where something happens, right? We want to reread our text and make sure we use those prepositions correctly and that we use the correct end mark at the ends of those sentences. We also want to make sure we have a variety of sentences just so that we can keep our reader interested in what we're reading. Let me show you how we can do this. Let's take a look at our mentor text. We're going to look at the first couple of paragraphs in our mentor text. So our mentor text starts like this. Many people use technology at work. Pilots use technology to fly airplanes. What types of technology do pilots use? Now, in the first two sentences of this story, we see that the author uses periods. Many people use technology at work, period. Why did they use a period? Well, that's because they're stating a fact, right? It's a statement. So we end a statement with a period. Here comes another statement or fact. Pilots use technology to fly airplanes, period. That's why we use a period there, right? Now, I see a variety coming. I see that the author decided to use a different end mark in the next sentence, which says, what types of technology do pilots use? This is a question, so of course we need to end our question with a question mark. You guessed it. All right, let's take a look at a little bit of the next paragraph. It says, pilots control an airplane from the cockpit. In the cockpit, pilots have many tools that make the plane fly. Make sure you're paying attention to the end marks that the author uses. For example, technology makes it possible to turn on the engines, raise the wheels, and control the wings of an airplane. Okay? Now, let's talk about the prepositions the author uses in this story. Okay? I'm looking at the first sentence again. It says, many people use technology at work. Where's the preposition in that sentence? That's right. The preposition is the word at. Okay, the author correctly used the word at. Let's look at the first line of the second paragraph. Pilots control an airplane from the cockpit. Do you see the preposition in that sentence? Yeah, I see it too. It is the word from. From is the preposition that is used correctly in this sentence that the author wrote. Okay, now we're going to go and take a look at Mrs. Sutherland's writing. Now, I have it on in digital form again, but of course you're going to be writing yours on paper today. All right, I'm going to come out of here so we can type. Actually, I'll make it big while I read it so we can see it. Might have to move myself a little bit out of the way. Oh, wee, here we go. All right, oops, nope. Maybe I can make myself smaller. Oh, get smaller, Mrs. Sutherland. You're in the way. How's that? That works. Okay, so my story's called Computers Help Us at Work. Here I am doing step 8. I'm going to reread my writing and listen for my sentence structures. I'm going to look and make sure that I have a variety of sentences. I'm going to make sure I end my sentences with the correct end mark, and I'm going to listen to see if I use some prepositions in my writing. Okay, so computers help us at school. People use computers at school. Teachers and students use computers to learn and communicate. Students use computers to find information. For example, students use computers to view websites and find facts for reports. Computers also make learning easier and more fun. Students can type stories on computers. They can use them to add pictures. Finally, teachers use computers to communicate. Teachers can send messages to other people at the school. They can send messages to parents. Computers help teachers keep parents informed about classwork. Teachers and students use computers every day. This technology gives us tools we can use to learn and communicate. I'm sure you use computers at your school too. Okay, so here's my introduction. Remember, we wrote our introduction first. We have 3 key ideas. Here's key idea 1, 2, and 3. And remember, we have 2 details for each key idea. Okay, and then finally, I end my story with my closure. All right, I'm going to make this smaller so we can go in and type, and I can add, oops, not yet, Mrs. Sutherland. Okay, there we go. All right, so I want to look at my words, make sure I capitalized in the correct spots. I think I did. I think I did a pretty good job at that. Okay. Now, one thing that I did notice was I could add a preposition in the first paragraph. Now, for this sentence that says, teachers, oops, where's my mouse? Let me get my mouse over here. I lost my mouse. Come back, mouse. Here, mousy, mousy. There it is. Oh, goodness. Okay. People use computers at school. Teachers and students use computers to learn and communicate. I think I want to make this sentence a little bit longer, and I'm going to do that by adding a preposition. Well, where do teachers and students use computers to learn and communicate? I could add a where here. Okay. Of course, we can do that in the classroom. Okay, and then I'm going to end my sentence with a period. Now I'm going to make that red just so you can see what I have added to this part of the story. Now you can write yours in red so Mrs. Sutherland can see. Remember, our stories are probably getting pretty messy at this point, but as long as you know what you're meaning to write in your story, when you go to rewrite it, it's okay to be messy, and it's okay as long as I can read your writing, right? All right. There was another place I thought would be a good place to add more into my story. Now, I like my story a lot, but I notice that I don't have a variety of sentence types in my story. I think I have used periods at the end of every single sentence. Well, I don't want to do that because that could make the reader pretty bored, right? We want to use a variety of different types of sentences. So I'm going to turn this last sentence in my story, instead of using a period, I want it to be a question mark. Well, if I'm going to turn it into a question mark, I have to get rid of the sentence, but I'm going to write it in a different way. So the sentence says, I'm sure you use computers at your school too. I'm going to turn that into a question, and I'm going to do that by getting rid of this sentence. And if you are handwriting your paper, you can just cross right through it and add to it. Okay, that's something that you want to do too. Okay, I'm sure you use computers at your school too. I'm going to turn that into a question. How about this? Ah, I'm going to turn that off. Hang on one second. Can I turn it off? How I turn it off? How? Okay. How do you use computers at your school? Question mark. I'm going to end it with a question mark. Now I have a variety of sentences, or a variety of types of sentences. Let me turn this red so you can see it. All right, let's look at this again. See what I've done today. Now it says people use computers at school. Teachers and students use computers to learn and communicate in the classroom. Doesn't that sound much better? Let's go on down to my closure. Let's see if my closure sounds a little bit better now. Teachers and students use computers every day. This technology gives us tools we can use to learn and communicate. How do you use computers at your school? I like it. All right, friends, it's your turn to take a look at your own writing. See if there's somewhere that you can add in prepositions. Make sure you're looking at those end marks. Make sure your end marks match your sentence. Make sure you have a variety of sentence types in your story, okay? All right, let's come out of here again. Let's see what we're going to do today. So for your assignment today, actually, let's make it big again. All over the place here. That's okay. Here, I'll even move over here now. This is a lot of fun for me. All right. No! All right. It says students will complete day 11 of their writing project. So that's just what I just went over with you. I'm also going to put this video under that assignment. So if you want to come back to the video, you can have it there. Okay. So it says see writing slideshow for more information. Of course, we have the slideshow that's always in your writing folder to help you if you get stuck. Okay, you're also going to make sure on I believe it's reading number 120, make sure you to upload page 26 that you completed with Miss Harrington, I believe in video number 1. Okay, if you finished all of that, then you can read from Scholastic Pro. You could read from iRead. You can do either one of those. Okay, iRead or Scholastic Pro, until we come back together at 10 o'clock. All right, friends, that's all I have for you. I will see you back on Zoom. Bye, friends.